When Clint Eastwood walked into a new gym in 2015, the 28-year-old trainer assumed he was someone's grandfather looking for the bathroom. "Can I help you find something, sir?" "I'd like to sign up." The trainer actually laughed. "Sir, no offense, but at your age, this place might be too intense. We don't want anyone getting hurt." Clint's response, and what he did next, is still talked about in gyms across California. Tyler Matthews had been a personal trainer for 5 years at Iron Will Fitness in Burbank, California. At 28 years old, he was confident, fit, and convinced he understood everything about physical fitness. He'd competed in bodybuilding competitions, earned multiple certifications, and trained everyone from college athletes to aspiring actors trying to bulk up for roles. Iron Will Fitness was an intense place, the kind of gym where serious lifters went, where the weights clanged loud and the atmosphere was competitive. It wasn't a Planet Fitness with pizza Fridays. It was hardcore, and Tyler liked it that way. He took pride in the gym's reputation for attracting dedicated athletes, not casual exercisers. On a Tuesday morning in April 2015, Tyler was at the front desk when an elderly man walked through the door. The man was tall, still had decent posture, but he was clearly in his 80s. He wore simple athletic clothes, nothing fancy, just a plain t-shirt and track pants. Tyler immediately assumed the man was lost, maybe looking for his grandson or needing directions. "Can I help you find something, sir?" Tyler asked, putting on his customer service voice, the one he used with people he didn't think were actually going to join. "I'd like to sign up," the man said. Tyler blinked. He looked at the elderly man more carefully. "Sign up? For a membership? That's generally how gyms work, isn't it?" Tyler actually laughed, not meanly, but the kind of laugh that comes from genuine surprise. "Sir, no offense, but at your age, this place might be too intense. We focus on heavy lifting, high-intensity interval training, functional fitness. We don't have the kind of, gentle programs that might be more appropriate for—" He trailed off, gesturing vaguely at the man's apparent age. "For someone like me," the man finished for him. "I'm just saying, we don't want anyone getting hurt. We have liability concerns. There are other gyms in the area that specialize in senior fitness, chair exercises, that kind of thing. Might be a better fit." The elderly man looked at Tyler for a long moment. His expression didn't change. No anger, no offense, just a steady gaze that made Tyler slightly uncomfortable. "How about this?" the man said. "I'll take a trial session. If I can't handle your intense workout, I'll leave and find one of those chair exercise places you mentioned. If I can handle it, you let me join. Fair?" Tyler hesitated. This could go badly. If this old guy pulled a muscle or had a heart attack during a trial workout, that was a lawsuit waiting to happen. But there was something about the way the man spoke. Calm, confident, not argumentative but not backing down either, that made Tyler curious. "All right," Tyler said, "but we start slow, very slow. And if I see any sign you're overdoing it, we stop immediately. Deal?" "Deal. I'm Tyler, by the way." He extended his hand. The man shook it. His grip was surprisingly firm. "Clint," Tyler grabbed a waiver form. "Just need you to fill this out, Clint. Medical history, emergency contact, the usual." As Clint filled out the form, Tyler glanced at it and saw the last name. Eastwood. Eastwood. That rang a bell, but Tyler couldn't place it. Maybe a local businessman or something. 10 minutes later, they were in the gym proper. Tyler had decided to start with a basic assessment, flexibility, balance, some light resistance work. He'd demonstrate that this environment wasn't appropriate. The old guy would realize it himself, and they could part ways with no hard feelings. "Let's start with a basic warm-up," Tyler said. "Some light stretching, maybe 5 minutes on the stationary bike." Clint nodded and moved to the bike. Tyler set it to the lowest resistance level. "Just take it easy, nice and slow." Clint started pedaling. After about 30 seconds, he reached down and adjusted the resistance. Higher. Tyler was about to say something, but Clint seemed comfortable. After 5 minutes, he'd worked up a light sweat, but wasn't struggling at all. His breathing was steady, controlled. "Okay, not bad," Tyler admitted. "Let's try some stretching. Flexibility is usually the first thing that goes with age." What happened next surprised Tyler. Clint moved through a series of stretches with an ease that most of Tyler's younger clients couldn't match. His hamstrings were flexible, his shoulders had good range of motion, his balance was solid. You've done this before, Tyler said, reassessing. I try to stay active, Clint replied simply. All right, let's try some bodyweight exercises, push-ups, but you can do them on your knees if… Clint was already on the floor in a perfect push-up position, standard form, not modified. He did 10 clean push-ups, then paused. How many would you like me to do? Tyler stared. That's good. That's really good for… He stopped himself before saying, for your age, again. Let's try the weights, Tyler said, his confidence shaking slightly. But we'll start very light, maybe the 10-pound dumbbells. Clint picked up the 10-pound dumbbells and did a set of bicep curls. Perfect form, controlled motion, no struggle. He put them down and looked at Tyler, waiting. Try the 15s, Tyler said. Clint did a set with the 15-pound weights, still no struggle. 20s? Clint moved through the weights with an ease that was starting to make Tyler nervous. By the time they got to 35-pound dumbbells, other people in the gym were starting to notice. An elderly man moving through a workout that most of their regular clients would find challenging. Who is that guy? Someone whispered to their workout partner. I don't know, but he's stronger than me and he's like 80 years old. Tyler was running out of ways to prove this was too intense for Clint. Okay, let's try the bench press. We'll start with just the bar, 45 pounds. Clint lay down on the bench. Tyler stood over him as a spotter, ready to grab the bar if needed. Clint lifted the empty bar 10 times without any sign of struggle. Add 25 pounds, Clint said. Sir, I really don't think… Add 25 pounds. Tyler added a 25-pound plate to each side, 95 pounds total. Clint pressed it 10 times. His form was perfect. Bar path straight, controlled descent, no shaking or straining. By now, a small crowd had gathered. Word was spreading through the gym that something unusual was happening. Is that Clint Eastwood? Someone asked. Tyler froze. He looked at the man on the bench, really looked at him for the first time. The face, the build, the way he carried himself even at 80-plus years old. Oh no, no. You're Clint Eastwood, Tyler said, his voice barely above a whisper. Clint sat up from the bench, wiping his face with a towel. I did mention my name was Clint. I didn't… Tyler's face was burning red. I told Clint Eastwood to try chair yoga. The crowd that had gathered burst into laughter, but it wasn't cruel laughter. It was the kind of laughter that comes from witnessing something absurd and wonderful at the same time. You told me this place might be too intense for someone like me, Clint said, but there was no anger in his voice, just a statement of fact. Mr. Eastwood, I'm so sorry. I didn't recognize you and I made assumptions based on your age, and… Clint held up a hand, stopping the apology. You made assumptions based on what you see in front of you, an 85-year-old man. Most 85-year-olds probably shouldn't be doing heavy lifting. Your concern wasn't unreasonable. But, Clint continued, what you didn't do was ask. You didn't ask about my fitness history. You didn't ask what I've been doing to stay in shape. You didn't ask what my goals were. You just saw a number, my age, and decided what I was capable of based on that number alone. Tyler nodded, thoroughly humbled. You're absolutely right. I've been doing my own stunts in movies since the 1960s, Clint said. I've been in fights, on horses, hanging off buildings. I'm not unique. There are thousands of people in their 70s, 80s, even 90s who are active, strong, capable. But they walk into places like this and get dismissed before anyone even asks what they can do. The gym owner, Marcus, had been watching from his office. He hurried over, clearly worried about the situation. Mr. Eastwood, I apologize for any… Marcus, Clint said. He knew the owner's name, which meant he'd done his research before coming. You've got a good facility here. Good equipment, good space, but you're missing an opportunity. Sir? There's an entire demographic of people you're not serving. People over 60, 70, 80 who want to stay strong, who want real training, but who get dismissed because of their age. They don't need chair yoga. They need what everyone else needs, challenging workouts tailored to their actual capabilities, not to assumptions about what someone their age should be doing. Marcus looked at Tyler, then back at Clint. What are you suggesting? I'm suggesting, Clint said, that you train your staff to assess people as individuals, not as age groups. And I'm suggesting that someone here, he looked at Tyler, might want to specialize in working with older athletes, because there's a market for it, and more importantly, there's a need for it. Tyler spoke up, his voice still embarrassed but gaining conviction. "Mr. Eastwood, I would love to learn how to do that. Today showed me I don't know nearly as much as I thought I did." What happened over the next year changed both Tyler's career and Iron Will Fitness's reputation. Clint did join the gym. He worked out there 3 times a week, never making a fuss, never demanding special treatment. But his presence changed the culture. Other older adults started joining, many of them mentioning they'd heard Clint Eastwood worked out there and figured if he wasn't being dismissed, maybe they wouldn't be either. Tyler, with Clint's encouragement and occasional guidance, developed a specialized training program for athletes over 60. He studied gerontology, talked to sports medicine doctors, researched how aging affects different body systems. He learned that while aging is real and does change what's possible, it doesn't mean people should stop challenging themselves. The program he created wasn't gentle. It wasn't chair yoga. It was real strength training, real cardiovascular work, real functional fitness, all adapted to account for the actual needs and capabilities of older bodies, not stereotypes about them. Within a year, Tyler was training 40 regular clients over the age of 65. Some were former athletes maintaining their fitness. Others were people who'd been sedentary and were reclaiming their strength. All of them benefited from being challenged rather than coddled. Marcus, the gym owner, was initially worried that focusing on older clients would hurt their hardcore reputation. Instead, it enhanced it. Young athletes saw 70-year-olds lifting heavy weights and were inspired. The gym became known as a place where age was just a number, where capability mattered more than birthday candles. Tyler never forgot the lesson from that first day with Clint. Years later, in an interview for a fitness magazine, he told the story. "I was 28 years old and I thought I was hot shit. I thought I understood fitness. Then an 85-year-old man walked into my gym and I dismissed him before I even asked his name. He turned out to be Clint Eastwood, but that's not even the point. The point is, he could have been anyone. There are thousands of people like him, older people who are strong, capable, dedicated, and they get dismissed every day because of their age." He continued, "Clint didn't have to take time to educate me. He could have embarrassed me, demanded I be fired, made it a big deal. Instead, he showed me what I was missing. He taught me that assumptions are the enemy of good training. Now, when someone walks through my door, I don't see their age first. I see a person, and I ask, what are your goals? What's your history? What do you want to achieve? And then we work from there." The specialized program Tyler created has trained over 200 older athletes. Several of them have competed in senior athletics competitions. One client, a 72-year-old woman, completed a triathlon. Another, a 78-year-old man, deadlifted over 300 pounds at a competition. Clint still works out at Iron Will Fitness when he's in town. He's in his 90s now, and his workouts have adapted to what his body needs at this stage of life. But he's still there, still lifting, still proving that aging doesn't mean giving up. Tyler often thinks about that first day, about his assumption that an elderly man must be looking for the bathroom, about his laugh when Clint said he wanted to join. He's grateful that Clint gave him the chance to learn rather than just walking away. "That day changed my entire perspective on fitness and aging," Tyler says, "and honestly, it changed my perspective on humility. I thought I was the expert. Turns out I was the one who needed to be taught. Clint taught me that real strength isn't just physical. It's mental. It's showing up. It's refusing to let anyone's assumptions define what you're capable of. That lesson is worth more than any certification I ever earned." The story of Clint Eastwood showing up at Iron Will Fitness and proving age discrimination wrong has become legendary in fitness circles. Trainers tell it as a reminder not to make assumptions. Older athletes tell it as inspiration to keep pushing. And Tyler tells it as the day he learned that expertise without humility is worthless and that sometimes the most important lessons come from the people you almost dismiss. Today, gyms across California and beyond have adopted similar programs for older athletes, many of them inspired directly by what happened at Iron Will Fitness. The culture is slowly changing, from seeing aging as decline to seeing it as evolution, Bodies that need different approaches but no less challenge, no less respect. And somewhere in California, there's a gym where a man in his 90s still shows up to lift weights, where trainers have learned not to judge capability by age, and where a 28-year-old's laugh of dismissal became the beginning of a movement that proves age is just a number, as long as you're willing to work. If this story of age discrimination turned into inspiration, of assumptions challenged by reality, and of humility learned from unexpected teachers moved you, make sure to subscribe and hit that like button. Share this with anyone who's been dismissed because of their age, or anyone who needs to learn that numbers don't define capability. Have you ever been underestimated because of your age and proven them wrong? Share your story in the comments, and don't forget to ring that notification bell for more incredible true stories about breaking stereotypes and redefining what's possible.